Okay, welcome to the webinar of the Mechanical Engineering Department of Mahindra Central. Okay, my name is Ranjith Kunnath. I'm a professor and the head of the Mechanical Engineering Department here. Okay, today I'll just talk to you a little bit about the department, the programs, the faculty, the research activities, and so on. Okay, and then you can ask me questions. So I'll take a few minutes just to walk you through some slides pertaining to the department, and then you can ask me questions after that. Okay. So a little bit about myself. I have a PhD in mechanical engineering from Harvard University. After that I was a postdoc at Caltech, and then I started my academic career at IIT Bombay. So I was assistant professor for a few years there, and then I moved on. Then I've been working at several private universities, and for the past 3 years, I've been at Mahindra Central, and most of the time I've been the head of the department. So that is my background. Okay, and so I'll just walk you through some slides of the mechanical department. Okay, so a little bit about Mahindra Central. So this was established in 2014, and the first batch started in 2014 and graduated in 2018. Mahindra Central is a tripartite, is born out of a tripartite agreement between Mahindra Education Institutions, Central, Supelec, and JNTU. So JNTU is the university which awards degrees as of now. The main points about the mechanical MEC curriculum, and in particular about mechanical engineering, is that there is a focus on developing well-rounded engineers and who are fit for the global workplace, and there is a lot of focus on basic sciences, foundational sciences, humanities, and design as compared to other engineering colleges. And there is also a focus, and we want to be a research-focused university. So there is a lot of focus on research, and both from the faculty as well as the students. Okay, and we also have we are very strong in interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary aspects of the curriculum. Okay, and I'll just quickly go through show you how our curriculum compares with the regular AICT type of curriculum. So you can see the split up of the curriculum, the courses. So you can see that you can see, for example, the AICT, the normal basic science content is about 16% of the curriculum, whereas at MEC in mechanical engineering, the basic sciences part is about 19%, and then the engineering sciences, that is the engineering related pertaining to other disciplines, not just mechanical engineering. For example, subjects related to computer science, electrical, electronics, and other branches of engineering. Those are about 22% of the curriculum, whereas AICT, the prescribed, the recommended, contribution is 15%. So we are very strong in this engineering science, the interdisciplinary aspects, where we have courses from other parts of the curriculum, and also on the basic sciences, where you see that we are more than the prescribed limit, and even in the humanities humanities courses, we are slightly above the prescribed limits. Okay, so this is how our curriculum is slightly different from the AICT, normal AICT curriculum, and this is the curriculum of the 2019 batch. Okay. Something about the faculty. The mechanical faculty, we are 13 in number in mechanical engineering, so that makes it the largest department in terms of faculty strength at MEC. And I think we have a very strong group. We are all PhDs from top universities, both outside India as well as in India. So some of us, so we have from places like very top universities like Harvard, Washington State, University of Wisconsin-Madison, Central, Georgia Tech, and University of California, and so on. Okay, and also from India, like IIC, IIT Madras, and IIT Indore. And and as far as experience goes, we have a mix. We have a very good mix of both industry as well as academic experience. So we have people who have worked for a long time in GE, global research, GE Aviation, and other private companies, and in academic institutions as either faculty as or as postdoctoral fellows, places like NTU, NU, Caltech, and Max Planck Institute, and so on. Okay, so I think we are a very strong group, and I think we are very focused on research, and I think we are trying to build a strong department here. Some of the areas of research. So very broadly, you can say that our research falls into three areas. One is robotics. So we're looking at our faculty are looking at developing autonomous robots which can traverse on their own. So and developing robotic exoskeletons, which means that these are devices that humans would wear to reduce the reduce the workload for humans and so on. Okay, and then we're developing robots for agricultural purposes. And here, there are aspects of computer vision and artificial intelligence, all incorporated in the robotics area. And the second area, which is an important area, is energy. So we have faculty working on solar energy, electric vehicles, electric batteries, and then gas turbines. So we have several faculty working in those areas. And materials, we have people working on thin films. So thin films are important technological applications. There are a lot of applications of thin films in technology, and we have faculty working on understanding properties of these thin films. And then we have faculty working on so-called metamaterials. Metamaterials are materials with properties which you don't find in nature. Okay, so these are synthetic materials. The materials synthesized so that they have exotic properties, and we have faculty working on such materials. Multifunction materials or smart materials, these are able to respond to a variety of inputs, for example, mechanical or electrical inputs and so on. Okay, and we have faculty start trying to understand failure of materials. We want to study how materials fracture or fail by fatigue and so on. And then we have people looking at granular materials, materials like sand, for example. How do you understand the behavior of sand? Okay, so these are broadly, and we'll have webinars on all these three topics: robotics, energy, as well as materials. There'll be webinars given by our mechanical faculty in the following days. So please stay tuned for that. Then student activities. We have a very active student community in mechanical engineering. So our students. So I'm listing three activities. So our students. So the top right figure is a buggy that has been designed and made by students of mechanical engineering department. So it is for an SAE Baja competition. And the bottom right figure is a model aircraft that has been designed and made by students of mechanical engineering. That is for an SAE Aero competition. And our students have also made an autonomous underwater vehicle, which they called, I think, Black Pearl. And so they've also entered into competition for such things. So this is some roundup of the student activities. And then I think our students have gone to for internships. Internships are something we emphasize on quite strongly, and because it gives them sort of ringside view of what happens in industry. And so these are some of the companies that our students have gone to on internships during the past years, and you can see that there are several big names in this list. And as far as placements, so some of the companies that our students have, some of the companies that have come for placements in mechanical engineering, these are some of the companies for the past few years. These are the companies which have been recruiting from our department. And several of our students have gone on for higher studies at top universities outside India, as well as within India. So I've given you some idea of the universities, some of the universities that our students have gone to. So these are very good universities in US and Germany and France. Okay, so these are some of the universities that our students have gone to. Okay, and okay, so I think now with that quick roundup, I'll just now I'll start taking questions. So let's see what we come up with. Okay, what is the difference in pursuing mechanical engineering from your college and other colleges? Okay, I think I've sort of talked about a little bit in my presentation. So first of all, you see that our curriculum is heavily oriented towards basic sciences as well as multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary topics, and we also have a strong research focus. We have students are also actively taking part in research activities, and we have a very strong faculty strength in mechanical engineering, and you can see that from the faculty profiles you can take a look at, and you can make conclusions for yourself. Okay. Elaborate on future prospects of female students pursuing mechanical engineering. I think there is no. I don't see any limitation for female students pursuing mechanical engineering. I think this has been a myth, and I think this is about time. We got rid of it. Okay, so I don't see any restrictions for mechanical engineering. Female students pursuing mechanical engineering. Other colleges have separate courses for mechatronics, robotics. Can you please enlighten on this issue? No, I think you have to be very clear about what it is that you expect from your first degree. Okay, so I think it is somewhat dangerous to over specialize right in your first degree. Okay, so if on the one hand you are very sure about what it is that you want to do in your career, you are very sure that you want to do mechatronics for the rest of your life, and so on and so forth, then I think it will probably make sense to go for a degree in mechatronics or robotics. But I think it is but I think but right now it is I think there is a risk of over specialization if you if you if you if you do a first degree in which is over specialized. So but I think we have courses, we do have components of robotics and mechatronics in our curriculum. So for example, we have elective courses in robotics. There are 2 courses in robotics which are being run here, and we have a robotics lab which has just started functioning last year, and I think so these are some activities in this area. So you can you can get into those activities at MEC, but again I think to specialize too heavily in mechatronics or robotics at the BTech level would be somewhat risky. Okay, can we have foreign internships? So can you have foreign internships? Yes, I think our students have gone for internships at foreign universities, both in in France as well as in US. That has happened, and I think that is also possible. Okay, so yeah, and I think we have close tie-ups with the Ecole Centrale, since we are part of the Ecole Centrale group. And so last year, for example, robotics faculty from Ecole Centrale had come here, and I think our students have also been visiting Ecole Centrale's for internships and so on. What are research opportunities? As I said, in mechanical engineering, as I've already mentioned, the broad you can divide broadly, though it doesn't cover everything, but you can sort of think of 3 different areas: robotics and robotics, energy, and materials. Okay, these are broad themes, and there are other activities also going on, but broadly these are the themes in which our faculty are working. And yeah. So can I go for an automobile design degree? I think yes, you can. We have elective courses in, for example, automobile engineering as well as electric vehicles here, but we don't have a degree in specializing in automobile engineering. But nevertheless, that is something you can pursue at your master's level, which is it is always a good idea to specialize at the master's level and not be over specialized at the bachelor's level. Any focus on nanotechnology? Well, I think mechanical engineering, I don't think we have faculty working on nanotechnology at the moment, but there are people in physics department who are working on several aspects, chemistry and physics departments, and I think it is possible to interact with those faculty and work on nanotechnology. Is it possible to take mechanical engineering with AI? If yes, please can you elaborate on the course? Yes, you can take subjects like AI as part of the mechanical curriculum, because we have these are offered as electives at MEC, and we permit students to take electives across departments. So these AI electives are typically offered by computer science departments, and you're allowed to take electives across the streams. So our students, mechanical students, routinely take electives in AI, and our robotics lab also uses some of these AI techniques for some of the research activities. So I think there's a good mix of mechanical as well as AI happening right now. So I'm planning for mechatronics. Some words about it. So yeah, I think as I've already mentioned, I think in my personal opinion is that it is somewhat risky to specialize at the BTech level. So it is maybe after a first degree in a broader area of mechanical engineering, then it is probably better to pursue a master's in mechatronics or robotics. But again, it depends on your focus also. So if, for example, if you're very sure that you have like a career path which is clear for you in mechatronics or robotics, then it is okay, I guess. Yes. And I think as far as nanotechnology goes, there is a proposal to start a UG course in nanotechnology here. I think that will come in as part of the along with the I think that will be initiated by the physics department. So I think that is something you should keep your eyes open for. And yeah. So what is the fee structure with hostel? I think the fee for students from India is 6.5 lakhs per annum. That includes the tuition fee and hostel and mess fee. And for overseas students, it is $12,500 per year. So these are per year charges. Okay? 6.5 lakhs per year and $12,500 per year. Is mechatronics the future? I think that is a little too narrow to put it that way. I think there are a lot of things that might happen in the future. To say that mechatronics is the only thing that is going to happen, I think it's a little too limiting. Okay. Can you tell us about 5 years integrated master's program? We don't have a 5 years integrated master's program. We only have 4-year programs. So we have 4-year programs. So we have okay. So we have after 4 years here, you can pursue the 2-year the EcoCentral. EcoCentral is interested in our students pursuing a 2-year program after they finish the 4-year program here. So we have a 4+2 program, and at the end of the 4+2 program, you get both the MEC degree as well as a diploma from France. So that so for that, our students get preferential admissions at low tuition fee to the EcoCentrals in Paris. Okay, so that program is available, but we don't have a 5-year program. It is a 4+2 program. Okay, I think there is a correction. I think the fee is 6 lakhs per year, and it is not 6.5 lakhs per year. Okay, so, yeah. And so if you have questions related to admissions, there is a webinar specific to admissions, which will be on 7th May. So you please watch out for that. You watch the MEC Facebook site for information on that webinar. I think it'll be on 7th May, most likely at 11 a.m. So please tune in for that program. If you have very specific questions about admission, fee structure, and and even details of placements and so on. Are the professors easy to contact? I think we have a very student-friendly program, and I think that one of the features of MEC is that we are very student-friendly because we are very small. Okay, so I think most we are able to sort of interact with students a lot more easier because of that. So we have our annual intake is only 60 students in mechanical engineering. So because of that, we are able to interact. Students are able to interact with us very easily, and I think we are able to spend a lot of time with students on various activities. Do you support startups? Yes, I think we have an entrepreneurship cell, and I think one or two companies have already started out from MEC. These are students who graduated from MEC and went on to start companies, and I think that cell is very active now, and I think that is something which is going to be a big focus area for MEC to help startups and so on. Whether students are sent to France for studies every year, students go on internships, summer internships typically to France, and so that is. And our students have also gone to some US universities for entire semester. I think that those kind of programs have happened, yeah, I think those are possibilities. So in the previous webinar, I've heard that it is possible to take mechanical engineering along with AI. And as I already said, that AI is an elective course. There are several elective courses related to AI and data sciences, which our students are permitted to take as part of their electives. So it is possible to work with work in AI while you pursue a degree in mechanical engineering. That is something a lot of our students are doing already, and so that is something you can do. What is the difference between studying mechatronics in another university and mechanical engineering in your university? So as I said, mechatronics is a very specialized branch, and I think mechanical engineering is a much broader branch where mechatronics is just one aspect of mechanical engineering. So that is something. So you in the BTech program mechanical engineering, you get a much more broader overview of mechanical engineering topics, and mechatronics being one of them. So yeah. As third year mechanical engineering student, in what basis should we choose a field in masters? Okay, I think you have to sort of go by your own strengths, what you feel you're good at, and I think what you feel you're interested in. I think that is a personal choice. I think it's very hard for anybody else to talk about what you should study. I think so. I think it's a very personal decision that you have to make, but you also have to keep in mind the way the world is evolving. So you see what areas are opening up, and and I think you have to make a choice based on that. So nowadays we see a lot of activity in things in areas like robotics, AI, and materials. New materials, and so these are some of the areas which are likely to open up in the future. So there's a question about projects and so on. So our students can work with any faculty. If there's a question whether somebody can work on with the CSE faculty, I think we permit students to work on across departments. So I think that is one aspect of MEC. For example, a final year project need not be confined to mechanical engineering. We have faculty, we have students doing projects in physics, chemistry, computer science, electrical engineering. So I think there's no restriction on the area in which students should do their projects. So I think that is one of the we promote the interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary activities. So that is. Are there merit-based scholarships? Yeah, I think 20% of the students get a scholarship of 1 lakh per year that is based on their academic performance. And I think there's also a scholarship of 20 for females, for girl students. 20% of the girl students also get a scholarship of 1 lakh per year based on JEE performance in JEE. And again, you can tune into the webinar on 7th May, which will talk about these things and also related to admissions. If sent on internships study abroad, will it be fully sponsored or should we pay for it too? Well, there are some scholarships that are available. For example, there's a Charpak fellowship that is available that can partly cover expenses for going to France on internships. But the rest of the expenses are borne by the students themselves. What is the fee for day college without hostel? Hostel, it is kind of mandatory to stay in the hostel. You're not allowed to be a day boarder. Okay. Staying in hostel is mandatory. My son is interested in mechanical and electrical engineering. In this regard, can you please advise? I think that is again a very personal choice. I think it is best to leave it to your son to follow his interests. And what is the admission process? The admission is based on JEE and SAT, and so there are 3 options. Either you take JEE or SAT or AC or the ACT. Okay, so admission is based on scores in those exams. Presently, are there any female students pursuing mechanical? Yes, we have a few female students, and I think in the 2019 batch there is a substantial, at least I think there are at least 10 female students, if I'm not mistaken. There are at least 10 female students in mechanical engineering in the 2019 batch. Placement, I think, so I've already sort of showed one slide on companies which have been coming for placements here. And again, you can get more details on placements in the webinar on May 7th. So please attend the webinar on May 7th. Which one has the highest scope in future, mechanical or mechatronics? And again, I think it is. I think both have their own places in the future. So we have traditional disciplines in mechanical engineering. For example, let me give you an example: fluid mechanics, for example. It's a very traditional discipline in fluid mechanics, and that is still a very active field. I think if you may not be aware, but there is a $1 million prize if you solve a certain problem in fluid mechanics. Okay, it is so I think so if you're a smart guy who can solve a certain problem in fluid mechanics, you can win a prize of $1 million. So these are so some of the traditional areas are still very much active, and I think you can and some of the upcoming areas like mechatronics, robotics, AI. These are also so I think you have to make a choice what it is that you're interested in. And I think so some of the traditional areas are still active, and a lot of research and opportunities in those areas also. Is there any additive manufacturing 3D printing related projects or labs for internship? Yes, we have 3D printing facilities available, and I think that is right in the first year we have demonstrations of the 3D printing, and I think later on it is also included in the manufacturing courses. So that is, and I think there may be more activities coming up in 3D printing as part of our research activities in metamaterials, because they're metamaterials are typically 3D printed. So I think we might be seeing more activity in those areas. Is there a scope for robotics along with material science? Does material science play a role in robotics or mechatronics? Yes, I think nowadays, I think now we are seeing materials also playing a role in robotics. So, for example, there is a whole field of soft robotics where you make robots using soft materials, and so their materials as sense aspects also come into robotics, and especially when you're trying to make robots which are very small or which are for very specific properties, then material science aspects also come into robotics. What is the class strength across branches? I have already said we take intake is 60 students per year, and we have 4 branches right now, and I think in all 4 branches there is roughly it is about 60 students. There may be slightly up and down. So is MEC better than some private colleges? Again, I think I try to focus. I try to stress on the strengths of MEC. We have a very strong faculty base in mechanical engineering. You can see that from our faculty profiles and so on. And so that is one strength. The second is that we have a very small intake compared to many other private institutions. So we are able to focus on students better. Our intake is only 60 students. So these are some of the things, and we have a strong research focus, which may not be true in many other private institutions. So these are some of the ways in which MEC is different from the other private institutions. And I think that is also, and we also should also say that we have faculty 100% PhDs. Okay, so that is something that is not something you would see in many other places. We have our faculty are all PhDs. We have PhDs from very good institutions both in India and abroad. So that is a very distinguishing feature of MEC. So you can look at the faculty's pages and see the faculty profiles. You can compare the faculty profiles with other institutions in India. So that is something you can do. What are the other 3 branches? The other 3 branches are electrical and electronics engineering, computer science and engineering, and civil engineering. Exchange program US is chargeable or included in annual fee? It is not included in the annual fee. It is something you pay for yourself. Do all faculty live on campus? A few faculty live on campus, but it is but most of us stay outside. How do you compare institution with IIT? Okay, I think that comparison is not fair because we've been around for 6 years, whereas IITs have been around for close to 60 years. Okay, but I think but I have worked at IIT Bombay, and I can tell you that the faculty strength, if you just look at the the faculty profiles and their I think we have in mechanical engineering, I think we have a faculty profiles which are comparable to IITs. That's what I would say. But I think we still have a long way because we just got started, and I think we give us another 60 years, and I think we'll be there. What is the average package, pay package? I understand it is about 7.5 lakhs is the annual package, average package of the placements. Okay, so but you can get more details in the admissions webinar, which is on 7th May. So somebody is saying, I expect guidance for my daughter during course to choose electives and projects if she pursues. I think we are available to guide students. I think we are faculty are always available to help students make decisions on projects and electives and so on. Okay. How many faculties are there in mechanical? We are 13 in mechanical engineering. So that makes us the largest in terms of faculty strength in MEC. The student faculty ratio is 12:1. Okay, so we have one faculty for every 12 students, I think, which is a very healthy student faculty ratio. Does MEC have specializations in CSC and mechanical engineering? There are these are two different specializations. One is electric. It is not, there is a specialization in computer science and engineering, and there's separate specialization in mechanical engineering. Yeah, these are two different disciplines at MEC. But as I said, our students can work across departments. So mechanical students can take computer science courses as selectives, and they can do projects in computer science with computer science faculty. So these options are available. Okay, what are SAT cutoffs? I think these things you can get, you can understand from the admissions related webinar. So please tune into that webinar on May 7th. Is artificial intelligence and robotics included in computer science or mechanical? These are, I think these are electives. Most of these topics are taught as electives. So these are not specific to a department. Students from across departments can take these subjects. So for example, robotics would be taught by a faculty from mechanical department, but I think students from other departments can also take that course. And AI typically would be taught by computer science faculty, but that would again be open to mechanical students. So which one is better, civil or mechanical? I think it's very hard to say that. I think it is a personal choice. I think depends on both have their own place in the scheme of things. So I think you have to choose. Does MEC cover any computer languages? I think we have a course in computer programming right in the first year. I think their students are taught, I think, C programming. That is a required programming course. Is there any exposure on aerospace related courses in MEC? We have a few elective courses related to aerospace engineering. Okay, I think so. This time we have a course running on aircraft design as an elective. So that is, yeah, I think so. Some electives might run, so, but there isn't. There are not very many courses focused on aerospace engineering, but some electives might be available off and on. Okay, folks, I think we'll call it a day. So I think there is one more question. Yeah, I think the related to aerospace engineering, I think our students are active, even though we have a few electives in aerospace engineering, but our students are active in projects related to aerospace engineering. I showed you one slide on students working on SAE Aero competition, and I think one of our students has secured a 1-year internship at Airbus in France. So there are some activities related to aerospace engineering. Can students shift to MS in computer science related area after pursuing in mechanical engineering? So that possibility exists. I think that is possible. Again, it depends on it is university specific, but I think the possibility exists that you can switch to computer science in master's program after you study mechanical engineering. Do labs and library have open doors? I think labs are open. The students have access to labs at pretty much all times. I think so. There's no problem with lab. Library has specific working hours, I think, but labs are open you know, as per need. Is any faculty working on composite materials, nanomaterials engineering? Yeah, composite materials, yeah, yes, we have faculty working on composites. Nanomaterials, maybe not so much, but I think the nanomaterials, we have faculty working on some of the characterization aspects of nanomaterials and so on. Yes, there is a faculty member working, for example, on thin films, nanofilms, and so on. So there's a faculty member working on those aspects. Can a girl joining mechanical engineering look for projects in IT companies as concept? I think there are a lot of mechanical engineering is the broadest discipline of engineering that you have. So I think our the curriculum touches upon aspects of all other branches of engineering. So I think with a background in mechanical engineering, you are actually set up to go in any number of ways. Okay, so you can work on at a master's level, or in a job you can work on problems related to, say, computer science or electrical engineering as well. So these are all possibilities. So I think I tried to answer most of the questions. I think I think so you can keep writing to MEC if you have further questions. I think somebody will get back to you. And so thank you for coming online for this webinar, and good luck with your admissions and future. And there is a upcoming webinar on for the electrical, related to the electrical department, tomorrow at 11 a.m. same time. So tune into that webinar also to get a better idea about the electrical engineering program. All right, goodbye.